I'm Hallie Jackson. With the president back in Washington, a small sign of movement, maybe, in the gun debate. The White House now saying he supports a bipartisan plan to strengthen federal background checks. So do other Republicans.
I have no issue with more extensive background checks.
The narrow proposal, introduced after last year's church shooting in Texas, would force federal agencies to improve their reporting of things like criminal convictions to make sure they come up on background checks. It would not have stopped the Florida shooter, but another proposal might have. Florida Republican Carlos Curbelo.
Why is an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old not allowed to purchase a beer at a restaurant, not allowed to purchase a handgun, but can purchase an assault rifle?
Okay,
that makes no sense.
That's exactly why Senator Dianne Feinstein plans to propose an age requirement, 21 and older, to buy guns like the AR-15, often the weapons of choice for mass shooters in places like Florida, Las Vegas, and Orlando. The AR-15 is also one of the most popular guns in America. In some places, they're raffled off in fundraisers, like for firefighters in Sacramento this weekend. Nancy Lugo walked out.
It's the timing of seeing that weapon after reeling in the grief with the rest of the country of the death of the children in Florida.
But in Kansas, where Tyler Tannehill is running for Congress, he has no plans to stop his own AR-15 giveaway.
I believe in the Second Amendment, and there's a solution to protecting our students and teachers while still letting people have firearms and guns.
At the state level, 22 states are now looking at allowing guns on school and college campuses, while 8 states have expanded background checks for gun buyers. Action locally on both sides of the debate, despite almost none federally. Many polls show people mostly favor some gun reforms, but until that motivates voters, there may not be much political incentive for lawmakers to act. And while President Trump might support this latest background check bill, his proposed budget actually cuts funding for states to improve their own background check reporting.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.